Now we just
recorded.
Now we just have to wait for your mother, and we can start.
She already did the daf. She's doing the daf for the second time. She's on the listening.
I want her to have her own screen. I want her to have her own screen.
Okay, I'm muting everybody.
1 second.
You land out twice.
We got it.
That will unmute me.
Did nobody hike down? Nobody hike down?
Abba's in Chicago?
He's naked.
Fly there.
There's no real.
Liner's too close to Sviako. There's feedback.
What do you say?
You're messing everybody's ears.
Okay.
Chazorah from yesterday, yes?
Yes.
Hold on, Tiago, 1 second.
Yeah, we don't hear you so clearly, actually.
Why is he in bed already?
No, I hear Chicago also.
Okay, you're good to go.
Good to go? Hold on 1 second. I just wanted to bring up this Mishnah Brura here. Yesterday we didn't do the Mishnah Brura. Hold on.
Yeah, just moving stuff.
What is it? Okay, so let's just do Chazara. No davening, we need to go to the bathroom. That's Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. When bringing a carbon, make sure to do tshuva. 1 second, I'm sorry. That's I'm reading Chav Gimel. I got to read Chav Dalet. Right? Didn't upload to my iPad. That's the problem. Okay, hold on. Did I post it? I did post today, right?
Yes.
Yes, you posted today. On the YouTube as well.
Oh yeah, so that was Chav Gimel. Chav Dalet is the continuation of the Gemara's about putting the tefilin under the head, saying Shema when somebody else is in the bed because the bodies are touching, whether you're allowed to, whether you're not, is the backside of a person considered erva. The age of a child is considered an erva. Then we said a tefach of exposed skin or the thigh, hair, and the voice of a woman is an erva, which I posted today on my halacha chat. And boy, was that a mistake because people are just going crazy with this.
Why?
I don't know. People, I guess, are not aware of it. The most interesting one was a guy who sometimes davens shachos in the bedroom when his wife is still sleeping. So, like,
So he told you that?
no, she told me that. I don't know who she is. So, like, hello, he shouldn't be davening in your bedroom. You're not supposed to daven in the bedroom, period. It's having nothing to do with that you're there. And, okay, what about, I didn't want to get into minyan, okay? But, listen, for all I know, it's somebody who can watch this and it's the wife. So I shouldn't really do this if it's going to be on YouTube. But, hey, whatever it is.
But it's nothing new. I mean, you didn't even say about the hair. You were just talking about properly dressed.
Can't hear you.
You were just talking about him properly dressed. That's not news.
Correct. Well,
But you weren't even talking about hair uncovered, meaning hair
I was.
uncovered.
No, I didn't mention hair. So that hair was the chiddush. The hair was the chiddush.
Nice.
Then we said no hanging tefillin on a wall. Right? No hanging tefillin on a wall. On a base, sneezing, yawning, passing gas, saliva while davening.
How come you can sing
You're
Shema?
supposed to get next to that special tefillah.
What?
How come you can sing Shema in bed and while someone else is in bed, but not daven when someone else is in bed?
How come you could say Shema? What are you saying? What are you asking? That Shema is different than the rest of davening? Hello?
He's asking how come you're allowed to say Shema?
Yes, what's the difference?
Well, no, who says you can daven either? Right?
No, but we learned that you're allowed to say Shema in bed.
Right.
That's when you're
Not allowed
lying
to
down
daven
in
in
bed,
the
you
room.
turn over, but
How
not
can you
next
say
to
Shema
someone
in
that's
bed?
not dressed.
Are you talking about going back last week?
Yeah, or yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's when you're in bed by yourself.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
We said if you're in bed with somebody else.
Yeah, but you have to have a towel separating you. But obviously, that can't be if there's somebody that you're not allowed to look at.
You asking me to steer from the top of the arm to the bottom of it? No,
From Amud Aleph, there's a Gemara that says that you can say Kriya Shema even if your B'nai Besa are still in your bed.
Correct. That was the kasha from the whole Gemara, whether it's talking about whether you need a talus there or not.
Right.
Yeah. So what is okay?
So he's asking that you just said you're not allowed to daven in
your room.
bed. Right. So I think that's what he's asking.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
That's exactly it. What's the difference?
Good, Yosef, that's good. Okay. Yes, that's true. So Kriya Shema, yes, davening and Kriya Shema are two different things, right? I don't know if we all, but many say Kriya Shema on in your bed, right? So many say Kriya Shema in the bed. So Kriya Shema is different than davening. Davening, you have to have a fear. You have to have a fear, like we discussed, that a person on a tree is allowed to say Kriya Shema. He's not allowed to daven, right? So davening you need to have more reverence by davening than you have to have by Shema, right? You got it? That's an excellent question. Good. All those stars behind you. You're the star. You're the star with that question. There you go. Right? Okay. Then what do we leave off with? So, and then on the base, you're not allowed to hold anything while you're davening. No, I'm sorry. I'm back to the wrong. I'm looking at my iPad instead of my phone. Too much technology over here. No davening out loud. Then what we said, what do you do if you have to pass gas during davening? And how to say Shema if you don't put your head out from under the blanket? And can Shema be said in a street that smells? Now, getting back to the Gemara that says that if you have to have gas when you're davening, so he basically said you take the 4 amas back, and then you take 4. We had the disagreement whether you do 4 amas back, 4 amas before, right? So Shulchan Aruch is actually, you ever saw anybody do this? Take out from Shemoneh Esrei, step out 4 amas, and then go back.
No,
right?
but the also the
and the tefillah. You ever see anybody do that? Okay, the tefillah, you don't know. Maybe somebody is doing it. You can't tell.
But I swear you're not to pass gas when you're wearing tefillin.
And what about Mincha Meir? You're right. What about
then you could do the 4 steps thing, but if the 4 steps thing doesn't help with tefillin.
True, it doesn't help with tefillin. But did you ever see anybody do 4 steps back like Mincha by Meir? And you can't tell me Shabbos afternoon there isn't an issue. You know what I mean?
More of Shabbos. That's not an issue.
Whatever it is, you ever saw anybody do it? Nobody does it, right? And then, so what do you want to say? Somebody stays in the same place. Maybe that's why guys are very long in that space. You want to say maybe he has stomach issues, right? That's no. So in Siman Kuf Gimel and Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah says, Yesh Aimer the Kol Zeh, all this that we learned in the Gemara yesterday. Meiri is talking about Kishma Spal Bebeisai. That's all if you're davening in your own house, like this guy davening in his bedroom. Avakishma Spal Betzibur. If you have to start walking 4 amas and then continue Shemoneh Esrei and you're bouncing around, you make it from one end of the Bismerish to the other. By the time you finish Shemoneh Esrei, that's embarrassing, right? Ain't tzarich laharchik klal la'achar. You don't have to step back. And that is the minig. So the minig is that the Ramah says that we don't say the tefillah and you don't do the 4 steps thing because it's embarrassing. Yes, that's what That's the way the Ramah says, and that's the meaning. Now, Sfardim, I don't know what they do, right? Yeah, fine. But the Mishnah Berurah does say that if you do end up passing gas while you're davening Shemoneh Esrei, then you should stop, and you have to stop anyways in case it smells, and then think about, even if you're not going to verbalize this Asher Yotzar type bracha, you should verbalize it. I mean, you should think about it in your head. Anyways, that's the halacha l'mais from yesterday. Okay, so let's
I have a serious question, but I'm being serious now. Sometimes a person has gas, and their gas doesn't smell to them, but to others it smells.
Well, very good. We're going to get to that in today's daf, parents. To today's daf.
What do you say?
That sometimes the person doesn't smell his own gas. Somebody else will smell it, but he himself.
How do you know it doesn't smell?
Well, how do you know? How do you know?
You're saying it cannot smell for you and it can smell for someone else?
Yeah, we're going to discuss that now.
You should be aware of it.
What?
Well, if somebody else smells it.
And there are some people who actually think their gas smells good.
Only from inside yourself.
Okay, let's see. We're going to get to today's daf. Yeah, it's a long daf, so it's already late, so I apologize. And I don't know where Jesse is. What Jesse's got going behind him, if anybody's looking at that. But yeah. Okay, Amar Rav Huna. Is it Talisa? Is that what we're up to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Amar Rav Huna. Is it Talisa Chagur Alei Amasnav? Right? If you have your talis wrapped around your waist, right? meaning you're covered from the waist on down. Abba, do we need you to show everybody what it means to be covered from the waist on down? Maybe that's why he looks that way. Okay. Mutter liquor is Kriya Shema, so it's mutter to read Kriya Shema like that. Tani nami hachi has the talisa shall beged v'shal ar v'shal sak chagura al masnam. If you have a talus made out of clothing or leather or out of sackcloth or whatever it is around his waist, mutter liquor is Kriya Shema. But to davening, you have to cover your heart. You see, Yosef, that's what it is. You see, there's a difference between davening and Shema. Davening is more chomer, right? So, because Rashi says, you have to look at yourself when you're davening as if you're standing in front of a king. You need to have fear. I'm reading the top Rashi. When you're saying Kriya Shema, that's just sort of like accepting an oath on you that Hashem is the king. You don't have to have fear for that. I mean, I would hope that you have fear anyways. But really, it's just accepting that Hashem is God. And you're going to listen to his laws, correct? You're accepting it on yourself. Yeah. If you forgot and you went into you went with your tefillin into the Beis HaKisei, into the bathroom, you put your hands on your tefillin until you finish going to the bathroom, right? Doesn't mean until you finish. How could that be? Right?
One second. What this is talking about while wearing them or
while wearing them? Yes, while wearing them. Yeah. Until the first, it literally means the first standing. I don't know how art school teaches this, but Amud Rishon means until, meaning you finish the first time and then sometimes you'll wait there and some more will come out. So wait.
The first discharge.
The first is right. So sometimes you go to the bathroom, then it stops, and then you continue. Right, so he's saying, wait there, put your tefillin on your head until Amud Rishon, and then get out. Yeah, it lifts like la'alter, so why don't you stop yourself from going to the bathroom and then get up? Don't do that because you have Rav Shimon Gamliel. The Tani Rav Shimon Gamliel, Amud HaChayzer, if you're going to stop yourself mid going to the bathroom, maybe it's adamli de hadarkan. Sila, and maybe it's adamli de yarkan. If you're going to stop yourself from going to the bathroom for defecating, number two, as you say, then that can cause you all sorts of stomach issues. And if you stop yourself from urinating, then it could cost you, yarkun is you're going to come yellow. What's it called? Jaundice. Thank you, man. Jaundice, right? Fine. Itmar.
This might go back to that other Gemara where it says the worst thing you can have is that stomach issue, all the way in the beginning.
Right.
No, we talked about all the bad things, and one of them was like a bad stomach or something.
That was Askara.
Right. Okay. Right. No. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that was Askara.
That was in the throat, right? Askara was the throat, but there was something else with the stomach, no?
Yeah, something with the stomach. I'll find it.
Yeah. Okay. So Itmar, yeah. Sorry, if he has feces on his bus or on your body, or your hand is inside the Beis HaKisei. I'm not exactly sure what that scenario is, why you would have your hand inside the bathroom and your body not. Rav Huna Amar Mutter Likros Kriya Shema. Rav Huna says you're allowed to read Kriya Shema like that. Rav Chisda Amar also Likros Kriya Shema. You're not allowed to read Kriya Shema. Amar Rav, my time is Rav Huna. Why does Rav Huna say that it's mutter? The whole neshama is praising Hashem. And Rashi says that means kol neshama is referring to the mouth and the nose, but the rest of the body does not have to praise Hashem. So if you have tsoya on, right, you have feces on any other part of your body, that part of the body is not praising Hashem. So therefore it could be there, and your hand could be in the bathroom too, because your hand is not part of the praising of Hashem. Rav Chisda Amar also look for Kriya Shema. It's also my time with the Rav Chisda. The Siv kol atzmaisai tamarna Hashem yichmech. All my bones, all my body is going to say to Hashem, who is like you. So according to Rav Chisda, your whole body is involved. So therefore your whole body has to be clean, meaning your hands can't be in the bathroom, you can't have any dirt on you. Yeah? Itma reach sheyesh le ikr. A reach that has the ikr to it, meaning sometimes you have a bad smell, but you have no idea what the source is. But sometimes you have a bad smell, you know what the source is. So this is what we're talking about, where there's a bad smell, and you know what the source is. Let's say a dirty diaper. The most common application of this is a dirty diaper, right? Ravuna Amar Marchik Dalar Amos. What you have to do is you have to make yourself a distance of 4 amos away. Bekara Kriya Shema, you could say Shema. You have to make yourself a distance of 4 amos from where the smell stops, and then read Kriya Shema. Yeah, meaning there's two opinions here. One is you just have to distance yourself from the source of the smell, and the other one is you have to distance yourself from the
even if
smell.
you still smell.
Yes.
Okay.
Tani Kavasei Rav Chisda. We learned like Rav Chisda, right, who says that it's 4 amos from the end of the smell. You can't say Kriya Shema not by the feces from a person or a dog or a pig, and not from not from a rooster, or chicken, and then the same thing for a garbage dump that smells bad. But if it's above or below 10 tefachim, so that's considered a total separate area, then you can sit on the side and read Kriya Shema. Vim love, and if not, marchik miloi einov. You have to do is make yourself a distance that you can no longer see it. Okay? V'chein l'tefila. The same thing for davening. Reach ra sheyesh le'ikr. If it's the reach ra has the source right there, marchik dalar amos and makom reach. V'kar Kriya Shema. You distance yourself 4 amos from the makom reach, and then you read Kriya Shema. Amar Rava. So Rava says. So you see that the point is that this price says that you have to distance yourself 4 amos from the end of the smell, which is the way we pass it. Then they have the whole shiloh, whether it's spraying a what do you call it? Cleaner, not a cleaner, air freshener. Is that okay? I don't remember what we come out with spraying air freshener. Lena, they'll check it up. Yeah, Amar Rava. This is. The halach is not like this brayso. Ella ki had the tanya la yikra adam kriyishma like connected says adam like connected says chazinim like connected says klavim bizman shenasan aris l'saychan. And you can't not by tzara, you can't say it by the excrement of a chazer, of a pig, or of a dog. That's only when it's mixed in with the leather, right? But if it's not mixed in with leather and it's just straight up feces, then you would be allowed. If it's a reach that doesn't have an ikr, what's the din? Why don't we look at these mats that are in the base medrash? So you have some people sleeping and you have some people learning. So in the base medrash, you have these mats. Some guys went to sleep and some guys learned. So, and what happens? Right? So when somebody sleeps, so they will pass gas. So you see that the people don't stop learning, right? Okay, Rashi says even though the derech people in the sleeping to pass gas, still you have people sleeping in the Mishnah and people still learning. So you see, and there's no ikr, meaning gas is not a reyach that has an ikr, right?
If you're outside and learning, can you pass gas?
What?
If you're outside learning, you're able. Could you pass gas?
Yeah, but if it smells, then you should stop.
When it's outside.
What?
Outside, it doesn't smell.
You can still smell outside, right?
Hey, but not as much.
Right, Yossi. So we're saying here from this Gemara, since it doesn't have an ikr, then it would be okay, right? V'hani mili b'divrei Torah. What's that? Let's finish the Gemara. And then I'll say v'hani mili b'divrei Torah. Kriya Shema loy. Divrei Torah you are allowed to learn if there's no ikr, but Kriya Shema not. The Divrei Torah nami loy amar ela dechavrei. That's only if it's your friend's gas. I will day loy. But if it's your own, then you cannot learn if you pass gas, right? You have to wait till the smell goes away, regardless of whether you're inside or outside. All right.
Your friends, you can continue.
Your friends, you can continue since there's no ikr to it, unless the guy has an accident. If he has an accident, then that's a reyach that has an ikr. Then you have to go 4 amos away from where the smell ends. Okay, idmar tzoya veris. What about a tzoya that's passing through?
Did you see that, Shai? I think it's brought in the Mishnah Berurah and the Dirshu Mishnah Berurah that they asked if you have 3 guys that pass gas, if it's batal b'rayv.
Oh yeah. That's that really in the Dirshu Mishnah? I remember somebody bringing it up.
I thought I heard you. I think you told me about this.
Who told you?
You, I think.
I don't know. Somebody told me about it.
What?
If you have 3 guys, is it bottle but roiv because you don't know whose gas it was, so therefore you would be okay.
No, even though I thought it meant if all 3 of them do it.
Or maybe all 3. I don't remember. I remember something about it.
So it's going to be an interesting siyum, you're saying?
Yeah. Itmar, yeah, tzoya iveris. So tzoya that's passing through, right? Meaning somebody is walking through I would say the most practical application is somebody's changing a diaper and they walk through the room where you're learning or davening, and the smell goes in and then it goes out, right? Tzoya iveris. Abaye says it's mutter kriya shema when the smell is going through. Rav Amar also likos kriya shema. He says that it's also. Amar Abaye mino amin Allah. How do I know the Tanana Tami Amin Tachas Ilon? This is a very interesting comparison. Somebody who's Tame, who's standing under a tree, Vatar Iver, and somebody who's Tar is passing under the tree, Tame. Then the person is going to be Tame. Tar Imid Tachas Ilon. But if the Tar is standing under the tree, Tame Iver, and the Tame person is passing under the tree, then he's Tar. But if he stops walking, then he becomes tummy. Meaning, as long as he's moving, he doesn't become tummy. And same thing with a stone that has tzaras in it. So what do we see? We're saying that passing through is not a problem. No, over there it's tali in kviyas, right? It's meaning that you have to be set there. He should sit by himself outside the machane. So that's over there. It has to do with that you have to be in your set place. So therefore, you're just passing through. Then it's not an issue. Here it says that you have your machan has to be holy, and you don't have that if it smells. Even though the smell is passing through, but right now when it smells, it's not considered a holy place. Correct? Okay. Omar. What about
if you? I'm sorry. What about if you only hear it, but not smell it?
You hear it,
but not smell it. Like you're trying to concentrate in. Okay.
What do you mean? If you're passing through, or just regularly?
Like someone farts like far away.
Right.
And you can still hear it when you're trying to daven.
No, that's not going to be an issue. Hearing is not an issue. Just smelling. Just smell.
It's not you. It's fine.
Okay.
What? Well, we talk for Shema. It's not for learning. Yeah. Okay, the mouth of a chazir, which is normally smelly, is like tzoya iveris. It's like a smell that's passing through pshita. Like tzrichon, it's not pochit. So like tzrichon, no, it's going to the salag minar. Even though the pig just walked out of the river, which means that it's at least semi-clean, so it shouldn't be so bad the smell. Even so, a mouth of a pig is considered dirty. I'm going to the suffix tzoya asura. The suffix of tzoya of excrement is also suffix miraglayim mutarim. Suffix of urine is mutter. Ikad amri, there are those that say Amar of Yehuda, suffix tzoy bebayis muteres, ba'ashma asura. If it's excrement in a house, it's mutter. In the garbage, it's also. Suffix meraglaim, if you look ba'ashma
I'm assuming it's a Yid's house. Because I can tell you a guy's house will have it.
I don't know. I'm assuming so, but yeah.
What about in all these old age homes?
That's a good question. I don't know what you do with old age homes. If it smells, it's a problem. That would be a problem.
A lot of times it doesn't smell, but you're within $1.
How do you know you're within $1? It's a suffix. So what do you call it, a bias? I hear. If it doesn't smell, then why should you assume anything? Yeah? Suffix made a glayim, I feel a bash for nami. But a suffix, whether it's urine there, meaning you see a puddle, you have no idea, is that urine, is it water, what is it? So if it's even in an ashba, it's going to be mutter. The Torah only asked you from davening next to the stream of the urine itself, meaning the source of the urine, but that's it. And it's like Rav Yonasan. Rav Yonasan, and it should be for you outside the machane, and you should go out, and go outside. Because he said, and you should cover over what went out of you. Okay, so how are we going to answer this? Right? Because the first pasuk just says you go out, and the second pasuk says you have to cover. Okay, so one's talking about gedolim, right? Number 2, and one's talking about ketanim, is the urine. So you see that katan is only also from the actual source, and that's it. But once it falls to the ground, then it's going to be okay. I see it before. I said it's just from the original source. What it means is no, from when it's actually flowing out of the person's body. For Rabbanan hu the gazabu, and the Rabbanan made it, meaning minat Torah, it's only the actual stream. Then the Rabbanan made a gezerah. When did the Chacham say the gezerah? That's only when it's for sure urine. But if it's a savi, then they weren't gazer. And if it's vada urine, until how much is it considered? For how long is it considered a problem? As long as it's still wet, then it's a problem. As long as it's still giving off wetness. He has a different shot. He says as long as you can see on the floor that it looks like there's something wet there, then it's a problem. This is a lashon of, is the Torah going, are you going to allow Gniva to say this? Hashta Tzaya, Amar Rav Yehuda Amarav, Kimat Shekama Panel Mutter, Meraglami Boy. Rav Yehuda Amarav says that since the Tzaya, the excrement gets hard, so then it becomes mutter. So Meraglayim, do I need to tell you Meraglayim? Right? And Gniva said that as long as it's recognizable on the floor, it's a problem. Right? But that can't be, it's stricter than feces, which once it gets hard is not a problem. Who says you should rely on that thing that Rav said? Somebody rely on this thing that Rav said. Even if it gets hard like earthenware, it's going to be asa. And how do you find tzaya kecheres? As long as you throw it and it will not break up, that's how hard it has to be. Okay? Or not throw it, you roll it. Right? So who said, meaning we have two different versions of Rav, how hard feces has to get in order to not be able to make a bracha. In order not to make, in order to make. Well, depends which way you're going.
It's hard, you could. Right?
It's hard, you could, yes. I was standing in front of Rav Yehuda Midifti, Chazat Tzaya, and he saw Tzaya. Amrali, like go look at the Tzaya and see if it got hard, if it crusted, I guess, or not. Go check if there's cracks in it. Okay? So, I don't know why he couldn't just leave the area. I guess he didn't have a choice, and he couldn't leave the area. My havila is a lashon of like, okay, what's the bottom line, right? So itmar, meaning what are we passing? Itmar tzaya kecheres. Tzaya has to be like up until it's cheres is a problem. Once it's like cheres, it's no longer a problem. Ameimar amar asura, umar zucha. I'm sorry, it's a machlokes. Ameimar amar asura, umar zucha amar muteres. Amar Rabbi hilchos. So what is the halacha? Tzaya kecheres asura. Tzaya like cheres is still asur. Umeraglayim kos machavat fichin. And urine, as long as it still has some wetness to it, it's going to be asur. What?
When is it mutter?
Once it's not. If you would touch it and it wouldn't make you wouldn't get any moisture on you, then already you would be.
No, I'm talking about Feces. Meaning he's gone to even cheres. So what level?
Right. I guess after that.
Is there any other level, or
I don't know. Because cheres, I think, still has some softness to it. No earthenware.
Maybe seductive.
Yeah. Maybe. Right? If as urine, as long as it can give off some moisture, it's asur. We just said it's mutter. Nivlu ayavshu mutar, and if it gets absorbed into the ground or it dries up, it's mutter. My love nivlu dumya duveshu, and absorbed in the ground must be similar to dry. My yaveshu de'ain reshumin nikar. Just like when it's dry, you can't even tell where anything was. Av niflu, even when it gets absorbed into the ground, de'ain reshumin nikar, it's not recognizable. Hari shumin nikar asur. But if you could see on the ground that there's urine there, then it's also even though it can no longer give off any moisture, right? So it's a kasha that if even has nothing to do with moisture. So the Gemara says, according to you, what about the first part? As long as it gives off wetness, it's asur. Harishuman nikar shari. But if you can see this, then it's nikar, then it's mutter. So we have a stira from the reisha to the sefer. The reisha it's mashma that it's as long as it's wet, and as long as it's wet, it's mutter. And the Sefer says that it has nothing to do with that. We can't say anything from this brisa because there's conflicting halachas said from this brisa. Let's say this is a Machlokes tonight. If you have a kli that the meraglayim was poured out from it, meaning it's like a bedpan or something like that, right? And they poured out the meraglayim from it. Also, look for kriya shema kenegda. You can't read kriya shema. So meaning the pot itself, chamber pot, that's the word. Right? The chamber pot itself is going to be usher. The meraglayim, but the meraglayim, it's atzman, the meraglayim itself, shenishbechu, like spilled, the nivlu, mutter loy nivlu usher. If it got absorbed into the ground, it's mutter. It didn't get absorbed into the ground, it's usher. As long as it's giving off some moisture, then it's still a problem. So my nivlu or my loy nivlu, what does it mean absorbing? What does it mean not absorbing? The Kamer Tanakama, that the Tanakama said. If you say that absorbed is that it doesn't give off moisture, and if it doesn't, if it didn't get absorbed, that means it's still giving off moisture. And Rabbi Yosef is coming to say that as long as it gives off moisture, it's also. But if you could still see that it's even if you see that it's on the ground, it's mutter. And that's the Tanakama. It must be that nivlu means that you can't even see that there was ever urine there, and loy nivlu, and when it means not absorbed, it means the rishuma nikra that you can see that it's there. Also, Rabbi Yosef Lemeimar calls man shashamat tefilin hu da'aser harishuma nikra shari. Right? As long as it's giving off moisture, it's also. But if you can just see it, but you won't get wet if you touch it, then it's going to be mutar. Sounds like we're going around in circles. I understand. Don't right? Yes, I don't think I'm going around in circles. I'm also going around in circles.
I was just curious if you were holding.
I don't know what I'm holding. I don't know.
The Gemara, the Feces, this is very schwer. How do you have rishumin without it being wet?
What?
How do you have something that is still there's it's something how do you have something that's not wet or rishumin?
No, you can't.
Well, it's saying it's not wet, but it's rishuman, and even though it's rishuman, it's still mutter.
No, if rishuman is nicker.
Right. What does that mean to be rishuman nicker? It's not wet then.
It's not wet. You can
what
see,
is it?
I think it's sort of like a stain. Sometimes you look and you can see that there was something here,
but when you touch it, it's not wet.
Correct. Yeah.
Who cares if there's a stain?
Sometimes you could spill something on a tablecloth.
Right, but what is it?
Put your hand down on it. Your hand's not gonna go wet. That's called tefeach hamanas latfiyah. Right. That's usually the way we judge something is considered wet for squeezing on Shabbos and stuff like that. If it can't
say that.
Yeah. Anyway, so we say the kuliyama
means wet but not wet.
It's sort of like it's enough there that you could tell that there was some urine there, but you can't get necessarily wet from it.
Like a baby wipe.
It's a lower level.
Baby, I don't know. Depends.
Baby wipe is wet.
Dried out baby wipe. Right. Like yeah, you got it. Yeah. Like, so we say, no, the kuliyama calls mashvatvichen hu da'asa. As long as it can give off moisture, it's going to be asa. Harishuma nicker shari. And if you can just see that there was a stain there, then it's going to be mutter. The difference is right? Meaning it's wet enough to make something else wet. Right? So Rashi says that the Tanakama needs it to be wet enough to make something else wet. That's when you're not allowed to daven in front of it. But if it's just wet, then it would be okay. And Rabbi Yossi says no, even if it's just wet. Try it. Just take your drink now and spill it on the tablecloth, and you see if right away it'll make your hand wet. Right? After you wait, after a couple of minutes, you put your hand on it and it will not make your hand wet. That's the bottom line with all this draying around. I don't want to call it draying around, but all this back and forth, that's the bottom line maskana here. That the Machlokes is whether it needs to be wet enough to make something else wet or just wet enough just that it is wet. But if it's not wet at all, then according to everybody, you're going to be okay. Right? Meaning Rishuman Nicker, all you can see is that there was, somebody did go to the bathroom here, then it's going to be fine. Okay? Right? So we said in the Mishnah, now we're back to the Mishnah, we said if somebody realizes he's tamei and and he's davening, right? So if he can get out of the mikveh before nets, then he should do that. So it sounds like that we paskin that Kriya Shema has to be done by nets, because otherwise, what's the rush, right? Again, the Mishnah says, who was that Mishnah? Way back when, Feces on the base. Says if you're able to get out of the mikveh, cover yourself up, and read Shema before Netzachama, then do that. If not, then cover yourself in the water and read Shema in the water. Doesn't that sound like you have to be done by nets? Right? Otherwise, get out of the mikveh at your leisurely time, and then you'll read Shema afterwards. Right? So that's Gemara says, Lema Tana stomach Rabbi Eliezer. Maybe let's say that this Tana holds like Rabbi Eliezer. The Amar Adha Netzachama, that you only have up until Netzachama to read Shema. Afilu Tem Rabbi Shua. Gemara says no. Afilu Tem Rabbi Shua can even say it's Rabbi Shua. And what he's saying is, perhaps he's saying, do it like the Vasikin. He's saying you should try and do it like the Vasikin, like the good people, like the extremists, who do finish Kriya Shema right by sunrise, and then they do Shemana Esrei. But it doesn't mean that you have to. You should just try to. Fine. If not, you should cover yourself up in water and read Shema. Right, like we discussed yesterday. You're sitting naked in water. Your heart is seeing your erva. We're talking about where it's dirty water. It's considered like dirt, like thick ground, and therefore the dirty water blocks your heart from your private parts. And clear water, you go up until your neck, and then you read it. And there are those that say that you mess around with your feet, and what you do is when you move your feet around, for all those that were on vacations in the last week and went swimming, so you mess around with your feet, and then that clouds up the water, and that will block your heart from your erva. Tanakama, erva. Oh, what the Tanakama? Why are they not concerned with liba reyes erva? Because some liba reyes erva mutter. They hold that liba can be reyes erva, right? They're litfish. You don't need. Excuse me. You don't need that gata. But your feet are going to see the erva. Kasavar, right? Kasavar akeva reyes erva mutter. Your feet seeing the erva is mutter, meaning the havamina is that your entire body is not allowed to see the erva, meaning your erva has to be covered. So it's very nice you covered it from the top up, from the top down. What about from the bottom up? That was the havamina of the Gemara. So we're saying, no, we don't care about the other part. We just need your heart not to see the erva. It marakeva reyes erva mutter. Your foot, seeing the erva is mutter. Negea. What about if it touches your heart? Right?
What touches your heart?
Well, yeah, you got to yeah. Abai Amar also Rav Zvin Masni Lo Hashma Tzahachi Rav Chinan Abreid Rav Ika Masni Lo Hachi Negei Dimra called also. If touching, everybody says it's also, right? Before we just said that touching is a machlokes, and the raya is everybody holds it's not allowed to be. And here we're saying the opposite. Negei Dimra called also. Touching, everybody says it's also. Raya, if it sees Abai Amar also Rav Muta. It's unlike the Torah Malachi Asharis. And the Torah was not given to Malachi Asharis, right? And it's saying it's not possible to be careful with all this. And that's right. Touching is asur, seeing is mutter. Amar Rava.
This is where they say such an idea.
What?
Put on some clothes. What does that mean?
No, but back then they didn't really wear clothes when they went to sleep, at least.
So when in the third, to poor people, like to only rich people, like what does that mean? Put on some clothes. Like they didn't have clothing. Like this.
No, if they're wearing a robe and they're not wearing underwear.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or back then they wore robes, they didn't wear underwear at all. I'm saying, but it's interesting. Like the Torah L'Malach Yisharis is the phrase that we use, but here it actually makes it's because Rashi says She'ein lehem erva. Malachim don't have ervas, so we're not malachim. We have ervas, and we have to deal with it. So it's a little bit of a pain to make you sugar about it. Correct. That meaning, so we have to be. We're not malachim. Malachim don't have to deal with this.
So we should start applying this idea everyone.
Well, we do apply it. We do apply it to many areas. Okay, Amar Rava. Tzaya ba'ashashis mutter likros kriya shema kenegdo. If you have tsoya in a glass, let's say it's in a lab, and you have a cup and you have to take a sample, right? So ashashus means in a glass. So it's sitting there on your counter, and you're working in a lab, and you want to say Shema. So can you or not? So mutter liquor is kirishma, you are allowed to. Erva vashash is also liquor is kirishma, but if a woman is improperly dressed, or a man even, and it's behind the glass, so then that's also, right? I lost the place. Yeah, so tzayi bashash is muttalik as kriyashma connected to tzayi bekisle talam milsa. Tzayi, the reason why, even though you see it, you're allowed to say Shema is because it has to do with being covered. Well, michsa, it's covered, even though you could see it. It's not a din in seeing; it's a din of being covered. Erva bashash is also liquor kriyashma connected, and erva through glass, it's also to read kriyashma opposite it because it says v'lo yirbecha erva staver. You shouldn't see any erva. You are seeing it. You're seeing it through a glass, meaning it's distracting. So if it's distracting, what's the difference if it's through a glass or not? This is the source why you are not allowed to see pretzels even on a screen. There are those that want to say that if you're sitting on a plane and there's a movie and on the screen is a woman without her hair covered, so can you daven in front of that? So we're saying, well, many persons can say you cannot because it has to go. We're afraid that it's distracting. So it's distracting whether it's on the screen or whether it's not on the screen. Yeah. Amar Abaya, tzaya kolshu mevatel b'roik. A little bit of tzaya you can be mevatel by spitting on it. Amar Rava b'roik av, it has to be thick saliva. Amar Rava tzaya b'guma meniach sandal eleh b'kar kriyashma. If you have tzaya in a hole, so put your sandal atavin and you can read kriyashma. By Marbreid Ravina tzaya.
They're always like up to the minute. Right before this line, like,
What are you talking about?
why can't you just walk away?
I don't know. Obviously, you're talking about cases where you don't have to, where you can't. You can't, right? What happens if the tzaya gets attached to your sandal? Right. This is the good old people didn't curb their dog, and now it's on the bottom of your shoe. Can you daven or not? So it's saying teku. Yeah. To teku. Yeah. Amar Rav Yehuda akam arum also look at a non-Jew is undressed, you're not allowed to read Kriya Shema. I said, in my area, akam afilu Yisrael nami. So why are you saying a guy, even a Yisrael also, you're not allowed to say Yisrael pshita leit also, Yisrael is pasha that's also. Ela akam itzrich leit no akim we need a mouth the same ahayel ksib who asher basar chamorim b'saram. They are like chamorim. Their flesh is like chamor. Aimaka chamor ba'amu. It's like any other chamor. A guy is like a chamor. And a chamor you're allowed to daven in front of. So to a guy, kamashma denu nami ikru erva. No goyim, it's also called erva. The erva zaviyam leiro, right? That's talking about Noach, and they didn't see their father's erva, and that's before Matan Torah. Fine. You cannot cover yourself with bad water and not with mea mishra, which we say that's flax that's mixed into it or soaked in it until you put more water in it to dilute it. Rami, how much water can you possibly put in there to dilute it? Do not cover yourself not with bad tasting water and not with water that was soaked with flax. But meraglayim you can't daven until you put some water in there. Meaning if there's like a urine sample of urine, so you add a little water and then you'll be okay. How much water you have to put in there? Kolshu, just a small amount. Revius, you have to put a revius, which is 3.3 ounces, let's say. This is all Machlokes in the end. That's only if the urine was there first, and then you're adding water. But if you're going to put the urine into water, then all you need is a kosher. That he says the opposite. The Machlokes is when you're putting the water in first. But at the end, if you're putting in the water afterwards, then everybody holds you need to put at least the revius. Bring me a revius of water like Rav Zakkai. Tanarabban. Graf Shorei, a kli full of excrement. And what do we call them for? A chamber pot, right? Meaning things that normally hold bad smelling things. Also, liquor's kriya shema kenegdon. It's also to read kriya shema opposite it. Even if there's nothing in it, since that's what they're normally used to, so then it's a problem. And Meiraglaim itself, you're not allowed to daven until you put water into it. How much water you have to put into it? You have to put in a revius whether you're standing behind the bed or in front of the bed. If you're behind the bed, you could read Shema. If you're in front of the bed, then you can't. But then what we have to do, like we said on Amud Aleph, distance yourself 4 Amos, then you read. Even if the house is 100 Amos, that's how big it is, you don't read it until you take it out of the house or you put it under the bed. Okay? So Ibailu, Heichi Ka'amar. Achar Amita Kaira, Miyad Lefnei Amita, Marchik Amal Amas, V'Kaira, Idil Mahari Kama. La'achar Amita, Marchik Dalamas, V'Kaira Lefnei Amita. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Ibailu, trying to get this done because I'm looking a little tired. Yeah, it's a long daf here. Ibailu, so ask the Shaila, Heichi Ka'amar, what does it mean? Achar Amita Kaira, Miyad. You can, if it's behind the bed, you could read it immediately, meaning read it right there. Lefnei Amita, Marchik Amas, V'Kaira. If you're in front of the bed, you have to distance yourself 4 Amos and then read it. Or maybe this is the way you say, if you're behind the bed, go at a distance of 4 Amos and read it. But if you're in front of the bed, you're not allowed to read Shema at all. Right? So Tashema, the Tani of Shema Lazar, if you're behind the bed, you could read it right there. You do distance yourself 4 Amos. You cannot read it anywhere in the house until you take it out. Right? Until you take it, or you put it under the bed. So we answered up our question, but the bottom line is we have brises that are saying 2 different things. So switch the last brisa to flip the sheetas, and then everything makes sense. My chazis the factor brisa. So the Gemara says, who says flip the second brisa? Epoch kamaisa, flip the first brisa. Man shamalei domer kule bayis karba amas domer Rav Shimon Elazari. Because we say, who do we know? Who says that the whole house is like 4 amas? That's Reb Shimon ben Elazar. That's benegeya to erva. Right? So we're saying, so it must be, since he holds the whole house is like 4 amas. So it must be he's the one that holds that you cannot read the Shema as long as these chamber pots are inside your house. A bed that's less than 3 tefachim. That pasha, that's we look at anything less than 3 tefachim, we know is the rule of Amud from the ground. Yeah, the bed is less than 3 tefachim from the ground, about 9 inches. So we know that that's love, and we look at it as if it's on the ground. What about from 4 through 9? He said, I don't know. But 10, there's no question that it's considered a it's a hefsek because it's so high. It's good what you did. The lay alone called asar reshus because that we didn't that you didn't have a question, because anything with that 10 is its own reshus. So it would be no problem to have the chamber pot under the bed that's 10 talking about. Less than 3 is like lavud, right? So we totally like it's attached to the ground. 10 is another reshus. And that's the question that he asked from Yosef asked from Rav Huna, and then he didn't say pshat. Amar Rav, Allah Rav Shimon Elazar. He says Allah is like Rav Shimon Elazar. B'chein Amar Bali, Amar Rav Yaakov, Rav Debas Shmuel, Allah Rav Shimon Elazar. Rav Amar Ein Allah Rav Shimon Elazar. Rav Achoy Yasaklei Lebrei. Okay, so whatever it is, obviously we have this big machlokes whether we pass like Rav Shimon Elazar or not. Okay, I guess we should stop here because it's been a big daf. And there's a lot of information here and a lot of opinions, and don't get frustrated. That's the bottom line. Let's try not all of us not to get frustrated. There's some block, that's just the way it rolls. All right. Fine.
Yep, thank you.
Abba, you have a gartelan under there, Abba?
Amazakeva is right.